إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهديه الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. So carrying on then with the three fundamental principles for children. Last time we started talking about belief in the Day of Judgment. Belief in the Day of Judgment. And we mentioned about the trial of the grave that happens after someone dies. And that is when the angels, they come and they question that person. And they ask him, who is your Lord? And what is your religion? And who is your prophet? Those questions are the basis of this particular book. The three fundamental principles is those three questions. So we mentioned last time also that the punishment of the grave and the blessings of the grave take place. And that means that some people, after they die, they will have blessings in their grave. And some people, after they die, will have punishment in their grave. It depends on what that person did during their lifetime. And there are certain reasons for people to be punished in their graves. There are certain reasons why that might happen to some people. A few of those reasons are, number one, what is known as an-namimah. An-namimah is when people gossip between each other. A person hears some story, so he goes and gossips and tells other people that story, saying that I heard they were saying this and they were saying that. And he goes and tells stories to other people. He carries tales. He carries these stories from here and there. I heard this and I heard that, and they were saying this and they were saying that. And he goes and narrates all types of stories, all types of tales to other people, and that causes corruption. It causes people to hate each other. It makes people dislike and hate each other because this person goes around telling stories about other people. They were saying this and he was saying that, and I heard this and I heard that. And he goes around spreading all these things. Then that makes people end up hating each other when they hear these stories. And so that is known as namima, spreading stories and tales between people in order to make those people have problems with each other. And that's why it is one of the worst types of sins. An-namima, going and telling other people stories about this and about that, about other people and talking about them and making people hate each other because of those stories that they hear. So that is one of the evil sins, and that is one of the reasons why a person might be punished in the grave for it. Another one is عدم التنزه من البول. Another reason mentioned in the in the Sunnah is when a person uses the toilet, but they do not be careful when they use the toilet. And so the splashes, they go everywhere. The splashes go on their clothes, they go on their body, they go everywhere. And so that type of person who doesn't take care when going to the toilet, and the splashes, they go everywhere, they go on his clothes, and that is an impurity. Or maybe some people who go to the toilet but they don't cover themselves, meaning they use public toilets where everyone can see them. You are not allowed to let anyone see you when you're using the toilet. So those kinds of reasons can also end up being punishment of the grave for a person. Another one of the reasons why punishment of the grave might happen is wearing, for the men, wearing your clothes past your ankles. Wearing the clothes down past the ankles, that is another reason why the punishment of the grave may occur. Another one is lying. People who lie, then that is one of the reasons why they might be punished in the grave after they die. Because we know lying is haram. Lying is not allowed. It is haram. And so a person who lies, and that is one of the reasons why he might be punished in the grave. A person who lies and regularly tells things to people that are not true. Another one of the reasons is a person who memorizes the Quran, but then after that he doesn't bother revising it, so he forgets it. A person who memorizes the Quran, but then after that he doesn't revise it, so he forgets it. That can be one of the reasons for the punishment of the grave as well. And also taking interest and fornication and these types of things are all reasons for the punishment of the grave. So how does a person protect himself from getting the punishment of the grave? One of the methods is that you regularly make dua asking Allah to protect you from the punishment of the grave, to do good deeds, righteous deeds, and stay away from all of the sins. And that is what will protect you from the punishment of the grave. And even in the prayer, when you pray, right at the end, you say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhabil qabr. Oh Allah, I seek refuge. I ask you to protect me from the punishment of the grave. In the prayer at the end, that's what you read. Oh Allah, I ask refuge. I ask you to protect me from the punishment of the grave. So you read that in every prayer right at the end. So you should focus on the prayer and what you are reading so you remember that. Then the next section after that, that was about the grave, the punishment of the grave and the blessings of the grave. After that, we're going to talk about the day of judgment happening. When will the day of judgment happen? That is something no one knows. We do not know when the day of judgment will happen. Even the Prophet ﷺ did not know when the day of judgment is going to happen. Even the angel Jibreel alayhi salam does not know when the day of judgment is going to happen, because there is a hadith where the angel Jibreel came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam and said to him, Mata Sa'ah. And so the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam highlighted to him, Mal mas'ulu anha bi'a'lama min as-sa'il, that the one asking the question, or the one who is being asked the question, is no more knowledgeable than the one asking. Meaning the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam doesn't know when it's going to happen, and neither does the angel Jibreel know when it's going to happen. So we do not know when the day of judgment will happen. That is something that only Allah knows. The only thing we do know is that there is not long left now. There is not long left before the day of judgment will happen. There is one hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, بُعِثْتُ أَنَا وَالسَّاعَةَ كَهَاتَيْنِ. The messenger said that I have been sent as a prophet, as a messenger, and the day of judgment is going to come. The difference is just like the difference between your index finger and your middle finger. Your middle finger is a bit longer than your index finger. That's the gap left from when the Prophet was alive, when he was here, that was 1400 years ago, up until when the day of judgment is going to come. So the messenger was highlighting to us, telling us that there is only a small amount of time left before the day of judgment is going to come. So we do not know exactly, but we know that it is close. And Allah told us in the Quran, اقتربت الساعة. The hour has come close. The day of judgment is sometimes known as the hour. And so it says in this ayah, the hour has come close. اقتربت الساعة. The hour has come close. In another ayah, Allah told us, اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. That the accountability, the judgment for the people has come close. It is very near now. But the people are unaware. They are negligent. They are just doing what they are doing, not caring. Even though Allah tells us, اقترب للناس حسابهم. The judgment for the people, the accountability, your judgment has come very close. It is very soon. That is going to happen now. And so these evidences, they indicate to us, they show us that the day of judgment is very close and that there is not a large amount of time left now before that day of judgment will happen. But before the day of judgment actually happens, there are some signs. There are signs that are going to happen to let us know that the day of judgment is getting even closer. Some of those signs have already happened. Some of those signs are happening right now. And some of those signs are going to happen in the future yet. One of the signs that has already happened, which is a proof that the day of judgment is close, it's near, was the death of the Prophet ﷺ. The death of the Prophet ﷺ was a sign that the day of judgment is coming close now, because he was the final prophet, he was the final messenger, and there are no new prophets and messengers who will come after him. So his death is a sign, it was a sign that the day of judgment is coming close. And there are many other signs as well. Often, most of the time, the scholars, they mention the signs of the day of judgment as two categories: the small signs and the big signs. Or you could say the minor signs and the major signs. The small signs and the big signs. And this is not something that is mentioned in the Quran or the Sunnah, that there are small signs and big signs, but this is the way that the scholars have explained the signs that are going to occur, that are going to happen before the day of judgment. If we give some examples of the big signs that are going to happen, one of the examples of the big signs, of the major signs that will happen, telling us and showing us that the day of judgment is very close now, is going to be the return of Jesus, the return of Isa alayhi salam, the great messenger. He is going to come back. He will return to this earth. And so when he returns, that is going to be a major sign, a big sign that the day of judgment is very, very close now. Another one of the major signs is something known as the Dajjal. The Dajjal will come at the end of time, and he will misguide as many people as he can. He will try to misguide, to take away as many people as he can, to make them non-Muslims. He will come at the end and try to make as many people disbelieve in Allah and to become kuffar, to become disbelievers. And he will make many people follow him, and he will misguide many people. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ told us, and all the prophets, they used to tell their people to be very careful of when the Dajjal comes. The Dajjal, he will have written on his forehead, Kaf, Fa, Ra, Kafara, meaning that he has disbelieved, he is a kafir. And one of his eyes is going to be like a floating grape. And so there are descriptions given about this Dajjal that is going to come at the end of time. That is going to be one of the major signs. Another one of the major signs, we'll give one more example, is when the sun is going to rise from the west, from the other side. Usually it rises from the east, but there is going to come a time when it rises from the west, and that will be a major sign that the day of judgment is very, very close now. So then when that day of judgment happens, obviously we know that all of the people who ever lived from the beginning, from the first person, Adam alayhi salam, all of the people are going to be taken out of their graves. They are all going to be resurrected, meaning they are going to be brought back to life again so that they can be tested by Allah. And the ones who pass the test will go to paradise, and the ones who fail their test on that day will go to hellfire. So we will all be resurrected, meaning we will all be raised up again, brought up again from our graves, brought back to life again. And that is something that will definitely happen. The disbelievers, the kuffar, they rejected that and they didn't believe in it. Allah told us in the Quran, they said, زَعَمَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَن لَّن يُبْعَثُوا قُلْ بَلَى وَرَبِّي لَتُبْعَثُنَّ. The disbelievers, they said, we are not going to be resurrected. We're not going to be brought back to life again. There's nothing like that. But Allah said, say, O Muhammad, tell them, by Allah, by my Lord, you are definitely going to be resurrected. So this is something that will definitely happen after we all die and the day of judgment happens. We will all be brought back to life again. That will be the afterlife. And that is where the judgment is going to happen between every person on what they did, whether they had done good things or they had done bad things. And the ones who are successful on that day, they are the ones who will enter paradise. And the ones who are unsuccessful on that day, they are the ones who will enter hellfire. So how will that day start? How will the day of judgment actually begin? It's mentioned in the Sunnah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will command one of the angels called Israfil to blow into a horn. and that will make a loud sound that everybody on the earth will hear. Allah will command the angel Israfil to blow into a horn, and that will make a sound that everybody will hear, and they will be terrified when they hear that sound. And then Allah will command him to blow into the horn again, and then the people, when they hear it the second time, they will collapse and they will fall down dead, the ones who are still alive at that time. And then Allah will command him to blow it a third time, and the people will be resurrected. And some scholars, they say it will only be blown twice. On the second time, everybody will be resurrected. So that is something that will happen on the Day of Judgment. Allah will command the angel Israfil to blow into the horn. And when the angel Israfil blows into that horn, then that's when the Day of Judgment now begins. Any people who are still alive at that time, and they will only be the most evil people right at the end of this earth, right at the end, all of the good people who are left, their souls are taken. Allah takes their souls right at the end, when the earth is going to come to an end and the Day of Judgment is going to happen. The people who are alive then in the future, all of the good people who are left, the Muslims, their souls will be taken. They'll die and their souls will be taken. So then only the evil people right at the end, when the earth is going to finish now, only the evil people will be left on the earth. The ones who do not even say Allah, the ones who are not Muslims, the evil people only will be left. That's when Allah will command Israfil to blow into the horn, and so they will all die as well. And then when Allah commands Israfil to blow into the horn again, that's when everybody will be brought back to life again. Since the beginning, from Adam alayhi salam, everybody who ever lived, they will all be resurrected and brought back to life. And then after that is where the Day of Judgment begins, with the accountability, with every person getting their deeds and their actions checked. And the successful will go to paradise, and the unsuccessful, the ones who fail, will go to hellfire. That's what we're going to discuss next week when we start. We're going to discuss how the judgment is going to be done on that day. How will Allah judge every person on that day? How will your deeds, your actions, what you did in your life, how will it be checked on that day? All of the good things that you did, all of the bad things that you did, how will it be checked properly? And then how will the decision be made whether you are successful or whether you failed? That's what we're going to start with next time, inshallah. There was only one lesson this week today, but next week, inshallah, if it goes to plan, there will be 2 lessons again, Monday and Tuesday, both at the normal time of 7 p.m. GMT, inshallah ta'ala. So we'll conclude upon that for today. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.